Parasect's growth has been stunned by the mushroom that has on its resided on its back since birth. The mushrooms sink into their spores into the host's brain, giving a parasitic mushroom total control of the paras. Due to it being possessed for so long, the eyes have whited out and the mushrooms has drained almost all of the parasect's life force, which gives the mushrooms the energy to grow and gross aggregation of its former size. Once that they are huge, they take total control of Parasect's mind, creating a hive mind, along the other host of Parasects, to ensure their survival. The mushrooms force the Parasect to breed, and once the eggs are laid, the mushrooms that coat the eggs with the Parasect spores, ensuring that their offspring will wind up the same dead-eyed and doomed fate that they currently have. People have often asked the designer of Pokemon, Satoshi Tanariji, what is the story of Parasect? Slightly troubled by his cold and dead stare, its unnerving Pokedex entries that describe this unfortunate Pokemon basically possessed by the fungus. When the issue is presented, Jajuri had become silent, of somewhat drawn. He refuses to go any further in the subject. Although he refuses to openly talk about the subject, several hints have been left behind, whether they're poseful or not is unknown. But what is obvious is that the Pokemon resembles of a possessed being. When it is presented to Tajuri, he simply just replied, Parasect is simply a Pokemon, nothing more. Stop overthinking it. On further investigation into the Pokemon, it is found that Parasect's original name was supposed to be Parasite, which had been related to the manga focused on the race of possessing aliens. The name, though, was forcibly changed due to copyright issues about all the author's manga Parasite. Now, this information was almost disregarded until it was observed that Mount Moon, the home of Paris, was also the home of alien race of Clefairy. This led people to believe that Clefairy's reason for being on Earth is basic and cliched, to possess all known life. And that, my little pretties, was Parasect, a Pokepasta. My final thoughts on the story? I have to say this is actually more of a fury on, what Parasect is based on and why Parasect is, the evolution of Paris. I honestly could say that this is actually a very believable fury. Now, I remember first hearing this story on Creekspapasta's channel, I think maybe last year or something. I did hear that other narrators have also narrated this one, like Super Nerd Daniel and a few other narrators have decided to sit there and narrate this. But I remember the creepypasta guys narrated this at one point, but I wasn't really into creepypastas at the time when I saw it. I really wasn't into creepypastas back then, but now I really do like how this pasta went out. It's a pretty good, interesting concept for the story. Basically talking about the fury of Parasect. It's not cliched or anything like that, but I really have to say it's a short story, but it's a pretty good one. Now, I do know this is an older story. I don't really know or remember how old this story was. Maybe it was made sometime in the 2000s. I don't really know, but it's a pretty good concept for what this story really is. I really do like how, how well the grammar was well done in this story, as well as the sentence structuring, the storyline, basically everything about this, actually it flows out really well. Now, I do remember hearing this story on a couple channels, like I said, but I honestly have to say, I do wish that there was maybe more to this concept of Parasect. I really wish that it was a little longer to explain more concept of it, because then that way the whole concept would have been more interesting, to say the least. I think that might be just me though, but I don't really know what to think of this. It's still a good story, I'm not gonna lie. It's a really good story. It has a really great concept and taste of what this story really was. Now, I do remember somewhat this story maybe a couple years ago. Well, I wasn't really that into creepypastas, like I said. I wasn't really that big into creepypastas, but now I honestly really like this story. I actually find this one to be good. It's still good pasta, really good, well made, and I honestly found this one to be enjoyable. So, yeah, I really do find that this is all believable, but yet again, who really knows about this? Because I haven't read this story in like a while. I think I read it once, but I wasn't really big into creepypastas at the time. But I mean, like some people really think that it doesn't really make sense and all that. I know some people really didn't really care for it. Like I remember one person didn't like it, but I think that's from what I remember in the comments section while scrolling through. I still find this one to be quite an enjoyable story, although I do wish there was more, given into the whole concept. Maybe the story, if it was a little longer, it would have more explanation and all that. So I do wish for that. But other than that, it's a pretty good story. So, anyways, I don't really have anything that I didn't like about this story, although I do wish that there was more given into the whole concept. But other than that, it's a pretty awesome story. Now, anyways, that being the case, that being said, yeah, I'm gonna sit here and wrap up the review. So I'm gonna say this now, and I'll always continue to say this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas, and this is simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating this story would have to be a. I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. I'm only giving it a 9 because I do wish that it was a little longer because because it would give me more into the story. I do wish there was more of an explanation to why exactly, what more information about, the mushroom on Parasect's back. I do really wish that there was more of a backstory or something. But other than that, the story was not a bad one. I still found it to be enjoyable. It's a pretty good concept for the story. It's a well-made story. And yeah, anyways, what did you guys think? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better, feel free to leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comments section down below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro because I'm out.